Jai Gurudev. Jai Masters. Life can either be extremely easy, beautiful, enjoyable, passionate, loving, or it can be really, really, really difficult. And people don't understand that the difference between one and the other is not what's happening in front of them. It's what's happening inside of them. The problem is we're not taught, and somehow it's not intuitively obvious, that the relationship between the outside and the inside is very, very different than what we think it is and what we're used to experiencing. The truth is that the outside and the inside are completely different. They are farther away than Pluto and Earth. They have, in truth, nothing to do with each other. And that is a shock to people, and they have difficulty with that. I want to go very deep tonight, so I'm going to just go quickly over some subjects so we can go into deeper things. The world outside is created by the forces that create it. Physics, chemistry, everything. It's just, there are forces that make things be the way they are, and they manifest that way outside. Inside, none of those forces exist. There's no gravity inside. There's no laws of physics. There's no quantum field. There's no E equals mc squared. That's all outside. That's all an exploration of the physical reality. In here where you live, it's not made of atoms. It's not made of electrons, neutrons, and protons, or bosons, or quarks, or leptons, or any of the quantum field stuff. It's different. It's emotions. It's thoughts. It's energy. Flows of prana, chi, shakti, spirit, call it whatever you want. You live in here. I want to talk to you. Yes, you look out through your eyes. That's why you know there's a world out there. Yes, you hear through your ears, taste through your tongue, etc. Your physical body has senses. It needs senses so that it can sense the outside world. And so your senses pick up the outside world, and via your nervous system, your wiring system, sends what it picks up back to you, who live inside. So the outside is different from the inside. It is completely different. They are made of different substances. They are in different universes, different planes of reality. And you are the consciousness, the awareness of being. You are something very, very great. You are the common factor. The outside world and your thoughts inside, they have nothing to do with each other. If there's a tambourine outside, or there's a tambourine inside, they're definitely different things, right? There's a thought of a tambourine, and then there's a tambourine. They're not even associated in any way, shape, or form. They have nothing to do with each other. Your emotions have nothing to do with the outside world. They are things that are going on inside. You, the consciousness, self, the awareness of being, you are aware of the thoughts, you are aware of the emotions, and you are aware of what's coming in through the senses. So you are the common factor. You are the one amongst the many. You are something very, very great. You are the awareness of being. If there were thoughts and there was nobody aware of them, they wouldn't matter. There'd be nobody sitting there saying, my thoughts are bothering me, because nobody is aware of them. If there was emotions, no matter how they are, the most tumultuous emotions that could ever exist, and nobody was experiencing them, they wouldn't make any difference, would they? It is the consciousness that is aware of these things that brings meaning to everything. So, you're aware of your thoughts, positive and negative. You're aware of your emotions, good, bad, high, low. And you are aware of what is coming in through your senses. If there was a world out there, no matter how interesting and multifaceted it is, if nobody experienced it, it wouldn't matter. It is the consciousness that is experiencing. It's called the experiencer. In ancient Egypt, what were very, very wise people called? Seers. You know your English. What's a runner? What's a walker? What's a seer? The one who sees. That's who you are. You're the one who sees. So you're the seer. So this center of consciousness, this awareness of being, is the beginning and end of your life. If it was not there, you would have no life. It wouldn't matter. If everything else was there, the thoughts, the emotions, and the world, if you ain't there, it'll make no difference, does it? So you give meaning to everything. You're the beginning and end of it all. So you are aware of the thoughts, you are aware of the emotions, and you are aware of what's coming through the senses. The important fact, which people don't understand, but we'll get it by the time I'm done, is that what comes in through your senses has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the forces that are creating it, that are causing it to be the way it is. There's forces of time and space. All the things that ever happened before cause what's happening now to take place. Every single thing you experience has influences that cause it to be that way. How many influences? You don't know how many influences one strand of your hair has? Your genetics, your hairdresser, like billions and billions of things that ever happened determined every single thing that's going on out here. So the outside world belongs to itself. The outside world belongs to the forces that caused it to be the way it is, and you ain't them. Okay? You just showed up yesterday, and they've been going on for 13.8 billion years, and they're going on everywhere you're not. You think the only thing that's going on in the universe is what you're experiencing? Or is there everything else everywhere is going on even though you're not there? So you're not the creator of the universe. You're not the cause that is making the outside world be the way it is. If it's going on everywhere you're not, how can you be the cause? You don't even know what's going on. It's so funny. What's going on Mars in the lower, nothing. What's going on in China in that house over there, nothing. You don't have any idea. But it's still going on, isn't it? And I know it's difficult. And we're going to have to bridge the gap of this makes so much sense, but it's not how it seems. It's not how you live. But just get to the point of understanding that the moments that are unfolding in front of you are absolutely no different, none, than the moments that are unfolding outside of your frame of reference. What's in front of you is the same as what's to your right that you're not looking at. What's in front of you is the same as what's to your left that you're not looking at. It's just what is. The forces that be have caused everything to be the way it is. Okay. You okay with that? I hope you're okay with that, because it's the truth. So you come to the point that you look outside and you say, okay, very good. That's what's there. What has that got to do with me? Nothing. Except that you happen to be experiencing the part that's in front of you. But you're not experiencing the parts that are in front of you, but they're the same. That's your foundation. Inside, you have thoughts and emotions. They are in and of themselves completely independent. I want you to think of the moon right now. See the moon, full moon, bright. Now I want a coyote howling at the moon. Come on. It's happening, right? I mean, reasonably, you had that happening in there. I swear to God, I was watching. It wasn't happening out here. There was no coyotes, no moons. Your inside is independent of the outside. You do anything you want with the inside. Do you know that? Anything you want. Think about the Great Wall of China. You got it? So, it's not here. The outside didn't change one iota. Your thoughts are independent, completely, utterly, and totally independent of the outside world. Your emotions are what is emoting, what is coming up through your heart. You can be driving your car somewheres and feeling love. You can be driving your car alone, when you're totally alone. You can be driving your car somewheres and feeling lonely with 6 people in the car. Your emotions are just coming up through your heart. So theoretically, not practically, but we'll get there, theoretically, the world belongs to itself. Your thoughts and your emotions belong to you inside. You're the only one experiencing them. Nobody else is experiencing your thoughts or emotions, but we are seeing the world outside together, parts of it. But that's your world in there, isn't it? I always tell everybody it's a single occupancy apartment. You're the only one in there. I don't care how much love you got with somebody else, they ain't in there. Right? You're in there and you know it. And you're in there with your thoughts and your emotions. I want to create the independence to realize that your thoughts are independent. They are whatever you want them to be. Your emotions are whatever you want it to be. There's no competition. Nobody can make your thoughts be except for you. You are in charge of your thoughts. So basically, your thoughts are yours, your emotions are yours, the world is not. The world belongs to the force that influence. Now, like I said, I'm not going to go too deep into that. Now, Why does it not appear that way? Why does it appear that my thoughts belong to the world, that my emotions belong to the world, that every single thing that's going on out there seems to also be going on in here, some factor of it, all right? Basically, you get to the point that you understand the connection between the outside world and your thoughts and your emotions. You made that connection. There is really no connection. You have done that. Why did you do that? Why are the things that are going on outside causing your thoughts to go crazy and causing your emotions to go high or low? If they have nothing to do with each other, why can't you just decide, I want to have nice thoughts? It's nicer to have nice thoughts. If you like things and you're happy and your mind's got nice things to say about things, life is much more pleasant, isn't it? Let's say you have a child, you had a baby and it's crying in the middle of the night. And your mind said, oh God, it's your turn to get up. Oh my God, I'm so tired. That's not fun. That doesn't make for a nice relationship with your baby. What if your mind said, oh, listen to that. It's so sweet. It's like music to my ears. It used to be inside of me. Now it's over there crying. I get to go home going. That'd be a lot more fun, wouldn't it? The world is the same. Your thoughts are whatever you want them to be. And whatever your thoughts are completely change your experience of what is going on outside. If I look at somebody and my thoughts say, I'd like to get to know him. He looks really interesting, right? Wow, he's fascinating. Well, man, I like that guy. We're doing great. All right? And what if your mind said, he looks weird. I hope he doesn't walk over here. Now, you're not having a good time. It has nothing to do with him. It has nothing to do with what's going on outside. It has to do with what your mind is saying about what's going on outside. Your mind is independent of what is going on outside. It can be whatever you want, but you have given up that independence, and I'm going to show you why in a moment. But first, let's just belabor this a little bit. If your mind always told you that what you were doing was fun, you'd be the happiest person that ever lived. If every time you woke up in the morning, your mind couldn't wait to get to work. Oh my God, what project was work? Oh, I sleep on that floor. I can't wait to get back there. I almost finished it. Oh, man, I couldn't sleep at night. I was so excited. That's a nice job. I want you to have that job. Totally enthused, totally excited, totally positive, totally turned on, not because of what's going on outside, but because of what your mind is saying and what your heart is feeling about what you're doing. And I'm telling you, they are independent. You have given up that independence, and I intend to give it back to you, because you can have as much fun as you want with your life. Let's say you get married, and we'll do the traditional. He leaves the toilet seat up, and you fall in the middle of the night. Okay, or leaves the cap off the toothpaste. There it is. That event has taken place the day after your honeymoon. You have a choice. Your mind sits there and says, how am I going to put up with this for life? Not toilet water. Oh, come on. And the mind just starts doing that. And, Sally, she divorced her husband. Well, we got married today. So what? He can annul the thing. The mind can say that, can't it? Don't blush. The mind can say things like that. If it says that, your marriage will not last very long. And if it lasts, it's not going to be a nice one. You'll be bitter and angry and upset and frustrated. What if instead it said, oh my God, it's so nice to have a man around the house. Look, it reminds me, the cap's off the toe. I love him so much. It's so neat. And there's toothpaste all over the place. Oh boy, I get to clean it up. What if your mind said that? Wow, that's a lot more fun for you and him. And a lot more longevity for the marriage. Who said what your mind is going to say? Because I am telling you, it is independent of what has gone on outside. They have nothing to do with each other. Your thoughts are your thoughts. Events outside are events outside. Have you ever daydreamed while somebody was talking to you and you're just thinking of something else completely? You don't hear a word they're saying. You just keep going, yeah. You couldn't repeat one thing, all right? Your thoughts are independent of what's going on outside. Have you ever tried to read a book and found out you turned 6 pages and don't have the slightest idea what you read? Your mind is off somewhere completely. Your mind is independent of the outside world. But it doesn't seem like that, does it? It seems like the outside world owns my mind. It determines what I think. Somebody doesn't say hello to me. They walk by and don't say hello. The mind goes, well, why didn't she say hello? Did I do anything? Oh my God, I wonder if she's upset at me. I don't remember anything I did. What, should I call her? No. Then anybody got a mind like that? That doesn't sound like my mind's independent of the outside world. It sounds like my mind's completely dependent on the outside world. Every single thing that's going on. You're driving behind somebody, you're in a rush, there's your mind. Nothing's happening outside. Your mind says, I got to get there. Somebody's driving slow. You know what your mind does. Same thing the mind does. You start talking to the person. They're not hearing you. They're in the car in front of you. Why are you going so slow? What's the matter with you? I got to get somewhere. 10 miles an hour below speed limit. Are you kidding me? It's so cute. So your mind does not appear to be independent of what is going on outside. In fact, it appears to be completely and utterly dependent upon what's going on outside. So what's the dichotomy here? How do we explain this? Your mind is in here. The world is out there. They have nothing at all to do with each other. So why does it not appear that way? Because the following thing happens. You're in there. If I asked you honestly with nobody else looking, how you doing in there? It's sort of like, you really want to know? Or am I supposed to say, fine? Okay, because if I really want to know, you got some stuff you'd like to tell me, wouldn't you, about what it's like to be in there? It's not so much fun all the time, is it? It gets weird in there, doesn't it? It gets uncomfortable, it gets self-conscious and embarrassed and jealous and scared, and all kinds of stuff goes on in there, doesn't it? It is not nice in there. So what happens is as follows, and we'll move on how to get out. If you're not okay in there, just it's a place you live, it's an apartment you live in there. You live in there with thoughts and emotions and what comes in through your senses. But you're in there. And no one ever taught you how to live in there. I don't care if you went to graduate school, postgraduate school. They don't teach us that. They don't start off by saying, hi, you in there? How you doing in there? Would you like to learn how to have a nice apartment in there and enjoy every moment of your life? Nobody talks to you that way because they don't know how. They don't know a thing about it. So you're in there, and what happens is you're not okay in there. So what you do, like a drowning person, is you grab whatever you can get your hands on that seems like it might help you do better in there. And that is your mind. That's the closest thing to you is your mind, your thoughts. And you, in essence, you go to your mind, you who's not doing so good, and you say, oh mind, Guruji, God, Master of the universe, you knows everything, the solver of all problems, oh mind, what needs to happen for me to be okay? Oh, I get giggles just to say it. Have you done that? Is that not how you live? You go to your mind, you in there, hi, you go to this mind of yours, and you say, how do things need to be so that I can feel more comfortable, so that I don't have to be so scared, so I don't feel jealous, so I feel loved and appreciated, and so my life's more interesting, so I feel like I'm meaningful and I have some purpose. And you just go to your mind and you ask it that question because you don't have anything else to go to. There's nobody else in there. So you go to the mind. And the mind, being your mind, it's like your computer, loves you to pieces. It's your servant. It's there to serve you. There's nothing wrong with the mind. It's a very brilliant thing. You have a human mind. The human mind is brilliant. And so you go to that human mind and you say, figure it out. And your mind says, you got it, boss. Day and night, I'll think about it. And that's what it does. It just constantly thinks about, how does everything need to be? How does the weather need to be tomorrow so that I can be okay? How does she need to treat me? How long can she talk to him without me getting upset? Just every single thing. It starts making up a universe, a theoretical, hypothetical, alternative reality inside the mind. Let's stop for a second. I told you your mind is brilliant. Everybody's mind is brilliant. Doesn't mean you're Einstein. But the human brain is brilliant. The mind is brilliant. Way more brilliant. I don't care. I know you like animals. Everybody likes to talk about how nice the animals are. I want you to look, monkeys. You know, monkeys are fairly evolved. Monkeys, apes. But I want you to look at how monkeys live. Go to the jungle, whichever you want to go, wherever monkeys live, and you go look at how monkeys live. Because I'm going to tell you, they live the same as they did 1,000 years ago, the same as they did 100,000 years ago. They live exactly the same as they did 1,000,000 years ago. Nothing has changed. They live in the trees. They have the same, everything is exactly the same. Within reason. Look at humans. They used to live a lot like monkeys. Look at it now. The Taj Mahal and air conditioning and cars and airplanes. In the dark, they lit up the dark night with light. You are so smart. You have no idea. Your brilliance as a human being, you, not Einstein, you are brilliant. Your mind is brilliant. There's no comparison between the human mind and any animal's mind. It's that evolved, isn't it? It's that brilliant. You learn how to split the atom. You learn how to dig minerals up out of the earth and build the machines to dig them up and then build a rocket ship, get in and fly to the moon. The fish didn't do that. Nobody did anything like that. You are brilliant. So you have this mind, and you went to that mind and said, oh, brilliant mind, oh, splitter of atoms, oh, rocket ship flyer mind, great mind. I'm not happy. I'm scared. I feel lonely. I feel rejected. I feel not appreciated. Figure out what needs to happen for me to feel better. That is what has happened. And every single moment of your life, pretty much, that's what's going on in there. Do I like this? Do I want that to happen? Do I like what happened? Is it okay if this happened there? I think you're judging, looking. The mind is on the job. You told it to get on the job. It's on the job. I'm trying to figure out how it needs to be for me to be okay. And it makes up this whole, I want to live in Hawaii. I want to move to Hawaii and I want to live near the beach in a hut. I want to live in New York in a penthouse. I don't care where I live as long as she's with me. I don't know. I don't care. You're just making up a bunch of stuff. I guarantee you what it never makes up. You go to your mind and figure out, how does it need to be for me to be okay? Not at any time until you're enlightened will it say the way it is. It'll never say that. Why? Because you know you're not okay with the way it is. You already know that. So otherwise you wouldn't have gone to the mind and said, how does it need to be for me to be okay? So you're not okay in there. And so you go to the mind and you ask it, how does everything and everyone, including the weather, need to be for me to be okay? And the mind makes up this stuff. I taught you once before. We got pretty far here. I can do this. How brilliant is your mind? When you go to sleep at night, how many of you dream sometimes? Will you look at your dream? I'm not talking about the subject matter. I'm talking about the quality of the 3D panorama with people, places, things, buildings, skies. That mind created all of that, didn't it? Your mind, without any effort, is so brilliant that it just creates a whole world. And the next night it creates another one, totally different. Tell me you're not creative. A lot of people think, I'm not creative. Really? Well, what exactly was that? That's how brilliant your mind is. Your mind just makes it up. That's how brilliant it is. Well, I am telling you, I've watched this carefully for 45 years. The same exact mind that can create an entire world out of nothing when you're asleep creates an entire world out of nothing while you're awake. It's doing the exact same thing. It's creating an alternate reality inside your head. Oh, if this happens, okay, and this person does this. If only this would happen like this. Oh, this looks like it's going to work. It just creates a whole world in there, except you're awake. So you're in the way, so it's not quite as 3D Technicolor. It's a little duller, isn't it, than when you're asleep. In sleep, you can go anywhere. But it's the same mind. You see why I say the mind is brilliant? Your mind is brilliant, isn't it? So basically, you get to a point where you realize, I have gone to the mind. The mind is brilliant. And I have asked the mind to make up a world, a universe, an imaginary thing, and then let me look at that, me who's not feeling so good, and it looks either hopeful, because maybe it could be like that, or it looks scary, because what you made up is you made up a nightmare, you made a horror show. One thing I do ask you is, if it's your mind, and it can think anything you want, and it's just going to make up something, why don't you at least make up something nice? Why would you make up something that scares you? I'm so scared of what? I'm scared that I get married and then I find out I can't have children. Or I find out that something happens with him and he dies before I die. And I don't want him to die. You're not even married yet. You haven't met him. You don't even know who him is yet. Doesn't matter. Come on, tell the truth. It can do that, can't it? If you're going to make something up, why not make up something nice? Why do you make up this junk in your mind that makes you scared, that makes you worry, that makes you anxious? It's bad enough the world unfolds in front of you, but you do this with your mind. So you eventually catch on that I could never, ever belabor this point enough. Ever. It is ruining your life. What is? Not life. The world is not ruining your life. The world is just going about its business, unfolding in accordance to the laws that cause it to unfold. Your mind is ruining your life. It is telling you, I will only be okay if this happens. I will never be okay if that happens. Does your mind do that ever? I'll be okay if this happens. I'm not going to be okay if that happens. You just ruined your life. Because neither the thing you made up that it'll be okay if it happens, nor the thing you made up that I'll be dead if it does happen, have anything to do with what's going on out there. No more than your dreams do. It's just something you made up in your mind. So now what has happened is you have made this thing up in your mind of what you want and what you don't want, and what will make you happy and what will make you sad, and what will freak you out and what will bliss you out. You just made it up in your mind, didn't you? Now you come into the real world, which has no idea what you made up. When was the last time gravity asked you what you want? When was the last time the quantum field said, here's your wish list, make the quarks and leptons be the... No, it doesn't ever do that. The outside world behaves according to the laws of creation, but not what you made up. That's not the laws of creation. You're the creator in there. You just make up whatever you want. So now you have taken make-believe and you are pitting it against reality. Guess who loses? Reality has no idea what you've made up, and it couldn't care less. Like, it might rain and we didn't bring umbrellas. I didn't anyways. I didn't think it would rain. And it rained, and then we have to walk out there and don't rain. It's very inconvenient. You can wait till later when we're asleep. Then you can rain. It sounds weird to talk like this. That's what you do inside. I'm anxious. It might rain. I don't want it to rain. Why does it have to rain when I have to? All the time I have to walk outside to search. That's what your mind's doing. So you've made up this thing in your mind, and it's your mind. Nobody else did it. You did it. But you told your mind to do it. You went to the mind and said, I'm not okay. Make up how it needs to be. Well, it better not rain when I have to go outside. That's not okay. It just makes stuff up. I don't know what to say to you. It just makes stuff up. And now you come out there and reality comes in through your senses. Now we have a problem, because there is a disconnect bigger than the Grand Canyon between what you have made up and what is going to unfold in front of you. Maybe you've noticed. How can it be the way you want? Nobody agrees with you. You just made it up. You ignored all the laws of physics. You ignored all the history of what makes things be. You just made it up in the split second. Oh, I like her. Hope she likes me. She's married. So what? People get divorced all the time. Okay, have fun. Just make it up. Now, once you have done that, and if you think that's innocent, that you make this stuff up, it's not. It will determine the quality of your life. It is not the world unfolding in front of you that determines the quality of your life. It is how the world unfolding in front of you matches what you made up that determines the quality of your life. So if you made up something that had to be this tiny little window this big, right? Everything has to be exactly this way, and that's what we do. You're never going to be happy. You're never going to be happy, because the world's going to unfold and you're going to say, that's not good enough every single time. It's not what I wanted. Even the most beautiful thing in the world is ugly if it's not the way you want it to be, isn't it? And that which is ugly to somebody else is beautiful to you because you like it that way. So you just get to the point where you realize, oh my God, what have I done? What have I done? I've ruined my life. I've made up something in my mind about how the world needs to be for me to be okay, and the world will never ever be that way. So I will never be okay. I will be anxious, I will be scared, I'll be insecure, I'll be afraid, I'll worry. So you get to the point where you realize this, and you realize if you're suffering, you have caused the suffering. Anybody who's suffering, they have caused the suffering. Yes, there are events that unfold outside, and you have to deal with them. Why? Because they're reality. Yes, it was 93 degrees today. Yes, another day it's, minus 20 in Alaska. You got all kinds of stuff going on. Somebody walked up to you and was really nice. Somebody else walked up to you and was really mean. Yes, I'm not denying that. I'm not making up a different world. There is a world unfolding in front of you. Is that okay with you? Saturn has rings. Mosquitoes fly. There's all kinds of stuff goes on. Is that okay with you? This is where you start to get your life together. Is you catch on that it has nothing, I mean nothing, to do with what's going on in front of you. If you are wasting your life by saying this, I'm not okay, my mind has made up how things need to be for me to be okay, and I'm now going to devote my life to fighting with everybody and everything to try and make it be the way my mind thinks it needs to be for me to be okay. I'm tired of even saying it. Did you get that? And that's what everybody's doing. And you are at war with reality, aren't you? You get mad at it. How could you do that? How dare you? Because it didn't match what you wanted. So I'm going to repeat that. Won't be for the last time. Anytime you show up here, I'll probably say it again. You're not okay in there. That's your starting position. Therefore, you went to the mind and said, how does everything need to be for me to be okay? The mind made up a bunch of stuff about how it needs to be or not be, right? And now you are out there trying to make it happen. You have let the lowest part of your being run your life. What's the lowest part of your being? The part that's not okay. How can you let the part that's not okay determine what you're going to do for the rest of your life? Because you think it'll make you be okay. It never has. It never will for anybody ever. Yes, it looks hopeful in the sense that if it starts to unfold the way I want it, I get excited. How about you? How long have you been alive? I don't care if you're young or old. Have you caught on yet that it doesn't work? You don't get okay that way? That even if it is the way you want, you worry that it won't be? You're worried it'll change? You worry something will go wrong? Or because you got it and you found out, well, that's nice, but it didn't really make me okay. I mean, check that box, but there's 17 more. And the next thing you know, you're out looking for something else. Ever happen? In other words, there is no way to be okay that way. Even if you get the world the way you want. Here, you're Superwoman, Superman, and you go out there and you made up how it needs to be, and you got the house, and you got the family, and you got the kid, and you got this, and there it is, you glue it down, you sit back, and it doesn't get any better than this, right? And then a storm comes through and wipes the thing out, or somebody dies, or somebody leaves you, or you leave somebody. Who the heck knows? It keeps changing. There's no super glue. You can't glue it down and make it be the way you want. Have you caught on? And that's why people have so much trouble with life. All right, so what is the alternative? Thank God there's an alternative. The alternative is to wake up and realize you are in here. If you are not okay in here, get okay in here. Let's paint the opposite life for a moment. Let's say you figured out how to be okay in there. You wake up in the morning, you're excited. Why? Because you woke up. You're excited. There's a world going to unfold out there. What's going to happen? I don't know. It's exciting. It's like Christmas morning. There's going to be something. I guarantee you there's always something happening in front of you, isn't it? It's a happening place. And you have no concept, view, opinion, preference about what it is. Just the attitude is, I'm here. The Bible says, lest ye be as little children. I'm just a kid. Give me sand, I'll play with it. Give me a stick, I'll make something out of it. Kids do that, don't they? Because you're innocent. You've got this openness. So I am here, and the purpose of my life is not to make life be what I want. It is to enjoy life. It's like there's a world unfolding in front of me. It's so exciting. I'm on the most exciting planet that was ever created. How about you? We visited every other planet of our solar system. There ain't nothing going on. We haven't found a single amoeba or a protozoa or anything. They're dull places. Here, it's never dull. There's always something going on. It's the most fascinating thing in the universe. It's unbelievable. There's trees and flowers and animals and plants and fish and woo, and things to do. It's like camp. What camp you want to go to? Computer camp, business camp, relationship camp, every single thing. It's just the most fun thing in the entire world. It's very exciting if you are willing to dance the dance of life. It is totally neurosis generating and scary if you've made up the way it needs to be and then it's just not being that way. I don't know what to do. It's not being the way I want. I told him I loved him and it took him 3 seconds before I said I love you back. I don't know. It's just, he doesn't love me. Oh my God. Instead, when you say I love you to somebody, there's no motive behind it. You say, I love you because you couldn't help yourself, because there's so much love welling up inside of you that it wanted to express itself and you wanted to hear it. And the very act of feeling it and the very act of saying it is fulfillment in and of itself. You expect nothing back. You want nothing back. You need nothing back. Why? Because you're okay. You're not in the relationship because I'm not okay and you're supposed to make me be okay. You said you cared for me, therefore you'll act and be different ways that make me be okay. No, you're in the relationship because you're totally okay. You're completely filled with love. You were before you met the person and you're going to be after they ever leave. You're filled with love and joy, and it is the joy of sharing that love and joy. Not, I'm not okay and you're going to make me okay. You're not supposed to be getting something from somebody else. You're not supposed to be getting something from the world. You're supposed to find the place inside yourself, and I assure you it exists, where you're whole and complete within yourself, where you feel tremendous love and joy and enthusiasm and excitement and passion every single moment of your life, unconditionally, independent of what's happening outside of you. And then you take that Shakti, that spirit, that joy, and you bring it into the world that you're interacting with, and you share it. You enjoy expressing yourself. You enjoy helping people. You enjoy making things. You enjoy whatever. There's not a single thing you need. I want you to get there. There's not a single thing ever that you need. You are whole and complete within yourself. And so now the world looks totally different, doesn't it? It's not a place I'm trying to get things from. It's a place that I'm enjoying participating and dancing with. If it's raining, I love the rain. I get wet. I get to get wet. All right? And you just have fun and everything's neat. And you're in a relationship with somebody and they had a bad day and they come home and you spent your whole time trying to have a nice evening and they just marched in that house and didn't even say hello and went in their room and slammed the door because they got fired or something went wrong today. And you sit there and your heart starts hurting and you say, wow, that's not what I expected. What a neat, interesting place. It's a mystery world. You never know what's going to happen. And you have fun. You have fun with every single moment of your life because you're not in a state of need and then getting upset that your needs are not being taken care of. You're in a state of wholeness and just enjoying the experience of the unfolding of life. Wouldn't that be nicer? I started off by telling you, you can have a life that's so difficult to live, it's so hard, and you have a life that's beautiful. This is what determines it. It is not what is unfolding in the world in front of you. It is what is going on inside of you that determines the quality of your life. So what do I do about it? I spent a lot of time painting this model. Buddhists say work at the root. Don't go out there and try to change the leaves and think you're going to change the tree. They'll change with seasons. They'll keep changing. You come down to the root. Well, what is the root? The root is, I'm not okay. I went to my mind and said, oh mind, how does everybody else need to be for me to be okay? I like that line. How does everybody and everything else need to be for me to be okay? Well, that's where you went wrong. You want to work at the root? You got to stop doing that. You got to come inside and see, I'm not okay in here. I got trouble with my emotions, my mind's bothering me. I need to clean up house here. I don't want to adjust the world to fit my mess. I want to straighten up my mess. So I don't have to adjust anything, so everybody's welcome in. It'd be very nice. Can I straighten up this mess in here? Yes. It doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make any difference. I don't want you thinking about karma. I don't want you thinking about your past. Nothing. It's meaningless. It's irrelevant. What's relevant is right now, are you willing to step back inside, realize I am the consciousness that dwells in here, and I have made a royal mess of my mind and my heart. In essence, I went and told my mind, pick up Mount Everest and don't come back till you've done it. Well, it got sick trying to do that because it can't pick up Mount Everest. Well, I told it, figure out how everything in the world needs to be for me to be okay. All right, you figure out how it needs to be and then figure out how to make it be that way and then go do it. Well, that poor little mind will get neurotic. You got a broken mind. That's why it keeps talking. It's just go, blah, 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 blah. It's just interesting. I don't know what to do. Ever have trouble with decisions? Do you see why now? You're trying to decide what needs to happen in the world for you to be okay. Well, the mind should say, how the heck do I know? I don't know anyone. Am I psychic? I don't know what my major should be. I don't know if I should get married. I don't know whether I should move. How would I know? You're asking me to make up the future and pick the one that will make you be happy. And you're the most unhappy person I ever met you in there. You keep coming to me complaining all the time. How can I fess on your mind? Is your mind talking to you? This is your mind talking to you. Leave me alone. You've made a mess of me. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going on strike. That's what it should say. I can't figure out how everything should be for you to be okay. I've tried your whole life. It should yell at you. It should scold you. Your whole life. You said the right toy would happen, or this would happen, or you got the right seat in kindergarten, or you got the play for out, and none of it helped you. Ever since I knew you, you were telling me to figure it out. I don't like it. I don't like this. I want to change it. So your mind should just say to you, leave me alone. All right? That's how you fix it. You have broken your mind. That's why it's a mess. You have broken your heart. That's why it's a mess. So what you do is you start saying, what do I need to do? I need to grow up. You in there, not your mind. You in there. Hi. You need to grow up. You need to say, there's a reality out there, and ask it. Just do this very clear. There's a reality out there, isn't there? There's a reality unfolding in front of me right now. Is that okay with me? Is that okay with you? And the answer is yes. No, yes. It better be okay with you, what's unfolding in front of you. Why? Because it is unfolding in front of you. It doesn't mean I can do something about the future. I'm not questioning that. I'm just telling you, there's two things that you better learn to be okay with. One, the past. It's over. If you're thinking about the past and not liking it or wishing it was different, boy, you're making yourself sick for absolutely no reason. The past is over. You are to let it go. There's absolutely no reason in the world to hold the past that you didn't like inside of you so it continues to haunt you. Because it does, doesn't it? It's over. It's done. It happened 10 years ago, happened 20 years ago, happened 20 minutes ago. I don't care. It's not happening anymore, is it? When you look outside, that's not what's there. Whatever it was that happened, that bothers you, I'm sorry it happened. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad that the daddy or mommy or boyfriend, girlfriend, I don't care, is not standing in front of you for 10 years giving you the exact same problem that bothered you. They're not. They ran off with somebody else. They did this, they did that. It came and it went. But it didn't come and go inside of you, did it? It stayed in there. That person's not in there. That event's not in there. You're the only one in there. So if it's still in there, you own that. What that person did that bothered you, that's their fault. It lasted 5 minutes, a day, 2 years, who the heck knows? Something went on there. The fact that it is still bothering you for 20 years, it can't be that person's fault. That person's not here. They died 20 years ago. It's your fault. You don't know how to use your mind. And so you use it to hold on to these past things that bothered you, and now they come up and haunt you all the time. How can that be the other person's fault? That's what it means to grow up and just realize, I'm in here. This is my mind. If my mind is behaving in a way that's causing me trouble, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it. It's on my watch. You know, you straighten your house out if something's wrong. Your body's sick. You don't say, oh, my arm is bleeding. Oh, I'll have to live with that. You don't do that. You go to the doctor. Is there something wrong with your mind? Fix it. Well, how do I know something's wrong with my mind? If the world outside of you is on fire and terrible things are happening, it's natural that your mind would be saying something you wouldn't be doing so well. 99.9% of the time, there's absolutely nothing wrong with what's going on in front of you. You're driving down the road, you're walking somewhere, you're doing everything, you're going to school, you're going to work. There's nothing happening that's threatening your life, is there? In other words, you're causing your own problems. What percent of the problems you have are like an autoimmune disease? There's something you're doing to yourself. Well, what if he doesn't like me? What if he's lying to me? Other people have hurt me. You're doing that. It's not happening. There's nobody there, just you. That's when you know your mind is broken. When it's not doing you any favors. When it's causing the problem. It's literally causing the problem that it's trying to fix. Well, what if he really doesn't like me and he's just lying? He says that to everybody. Okay, it just caused a problem because he told you he liked you. So now it caused a problem. Now it's going to solve the problem. Well, I'm not going to go out with him again. Well, I'll go out with him again, but I'm going to do this test. I'll do this, and I'll see if he says this. First, you cause the problem. That's neurotic. Then you get ultra neurotic about how you're going to solve the problem you created. That's what it means to be lost in your mind. This is not healthy. Don't live like this. The net result is you have to get to a point within yourself where you are willing to straighten up the mess you made in there. How do I do that? You start by accepting reality. The past is over. If there's anything bothering you about the past, that is the sickness of your mind. Because it's not happening in front of you now, therefore it shouldn't be bothering you. Why should something be bothering you that's not happening? It's bad enough you got stuff that is happening. But something that's not happening, why was it bothering you? Because you got stuck in your mind. You didn't deal with it properly. Start dealing with it. How? When it comes up next time, when it comes back up, it'll feel yucky. Why? Because it was a yucky experience. I'm not saying it wasn't. All I'm saying is it's temporal. There can be yucky experiences and they come and they go. Then there's nice ones. It's just part of life, isn't it? But if you store all the yucky ones inside and build them up, then there's nothing but yucky. Let's say that's how God is like this. It's the yin and the yang, but he loves you so much that he bounces this way. There has to be some negative. So what we're going to do is 99% will be beautiful and 1% will be difficult, be hard. Hey, that's a deal I'll take. How about you? Let's make that deal. But then what you did is the 1%, you couldn't handle it. You broke up on the deal. No, I don't want this. I don't want to handle this. So you kept it. So those 1% add up and add up and add up and add up until it's 97% going on inside of you negative. Even though it's really only 1% outside. It's like you saw a plane accident. Well, yeah, sometimes the planes crash. All kinds of things go on. Now, every single time you fly, oh my God, is this going to be okay? Will I be okay? You just made a terrible experience out of a beautiful journey. And nothing happened. Nobody crashed. Nothing happened. How often do you do that? All the time. Because you stored up those 1%ers until you built them up inside of you. So now inside, it seems pretty negative, doesn't it? It all reminds you of the stuff that bothered you because you stored this up inside. So what you do is when it comes up next time, of course it hurts. Of course it's difficult. Of course it feels yicky. You look at it and you say, I am so sorry that I didn't let you go when I was 5. I'm sorry. You are welcome to go now. That's how you deal with it. You're welcome to go now. You need room? Okay, all the room you need. I'm going to back off into the witness. I'm back here. Don't worry, I'm back here. I'm okay. And you're okay. You're free to let go. And you purify. You cleanse. You just let this go. But it feels terrible. It was stored with pain. It's going to come up with pain. But there was only that tiny little bits of pain every once in a while. But you stored them up. And by the time you store them up, now they're predominant. It's like I always used to tell this story. I can't help myself. 8-year-old kid has to go in and get a shot. How long does a shot hurt? Just a regular shot. 2 seconds? Oh, okay, fine, it's over. Right? 6 months prior to the shot. Oh, I don't have to do that. I don't want to do that. Oh my God, it's going to hurt so bad. If you love me, you wouldn't have made me do that. 6 months after, I can't believe you made me do that. I don't want to do it again. Well, that's really good. 10 seconds of physical pain or discomfort. You just made a year of suffering. Ever seen it? Ever done it? Okay? That's what I'm talking about. Permit what is to be. Don't store it inside. Do not store the past inside. I said there's 2 things, the past and then the present. What do I mean by the present? The present is the moment that is literally coming in through your senses right now. That's the definition of the present. And I'll tell you a secret. You are not going to change that. You can change the next moment, but you ain't changing the one that just came in. It actually came in. The fact that it's in, it's too late. Already happened. That's why you're experiencing it. It's a done deal, but you won't handle it that way, will you? They'll come in and say, I don't want to feel this. I don't like this. I don't want... Whoa, man. You have just come out of harmony with reality. You have to develop yourself. I don't care how you do it. Like I said, meditation, yoga, wonderful things. Do whatever works for you. But I don't want them to be a thing in and of themselves. Meditation is not a thing in and of itself. Yoga is not a thing in and of itself. Mantra is not a thing of itself. They are techniques to help you do what I'm talking about, which is get to a point where when the past comes up that you store inside of you, you give it a kiss on the forehead and help it along its way. You just offer it up. I don't care what it is. I don't care how much it hurts. I'd rather have the pain now and not have to worry about it ever again. I'm going to take that shot for 10 seconds, go on, do your thing, and then I'm going to think about it again because it was 10 seconds. There's no way I'm ruining my life over that. And I am not holding this inside of me. Let it go. Let it come up. Let it go. You do not want it inside of you. There's no benefit to it. So you let it go. Now, the current moment is unfolding. You have to get to the point where you're okay with the current moment having unfolded. Why? You have no choice. It is not under your control. It actually happened. Somebody actually said something. So I don't care what they said. I don't care how mean it was. I don't care how scary it was. Your first position is not, do I like it? And it is not what I do about it. It's, am I okay with this? You change your entire mindset to sit there and say, I need to be okay with this. Otherwise, I can't deal with it. If you're not okay with something, you can't deal with it. You're not even okay with it. It made you not okay. Now you're going to have to deal with the fact that you're not okay. Somebody said something. You're not okay with what they said. What does that mean? It means I'm tumultuous inside. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I'm anxious. I'm angry. Now you're going to have to deal with your anger, your anxiety, because it's right inside in your face. It's worse than what the person said. You have to get to the point where you are okay with reality. I'm sorry to tell you that, right? But you better be okay with reality. Why? Because it's what happened. So if somebody comes, they said something, your first position is, am I okay with that? In the universe, there's lots of things happening, hundreds of billions, zillion. This is the one I saw right now. That's reality. Is that okay with me? And the answer is yes. It's a rhetorical question. Doesn't mean you're going to feel okay, but yes, I'm okay. Now, the moment you're okay with it, just relax and realize it doesn't matter if it hurts your heart, it doesn't matter if it hits something in your mind, you're the one who's in here. If you can be okay with it, everything's going to change. I mean it. If you be okay when the past comes up that you stored in there, be okay with the current moment that unfolded, what is going to happen is you will start to feel a center of peace, of strength, of well-being that is independent of what the world has done or what your mind's reaction is, because you are an entity within yourself. You are the consciousness. If you are okay, then you're okay. Can you be okay when your heart is hurting? The answer is yes. Can you be okay when your mind is freaking out about something that somebody said? The answer is yes. I am the one who is watching my mind be weird. I am the one that is watching my heart hurt. If you come to me and you say, oh, ever since this person is dead, my heart hurts so bad. I'm sorry, you don't want to talk to me. I'm not going to say, oh, poor thing, what happened? What I'm going to say is, your heart hurts? Yeah. I'm going to ask you, how do you know? And you're going to get so mad at me. How do you know your heart hurts? And eventually you're going to say, because I'm in here. And I say, well, then be in there. See, you in there are the one who's watching the hurt heart. You are not the hurt heart. You are the witness. You're the awareness of being. Can you be comfortable with any of the different things that unfold in the world, any of the different things that unfold in your mind, and any of the different things that unfold in your heart? Because if you are, that's the highest spiritual state there is. That's the state the Gita talks about. One who has transcended the qualities of nature, is comfortable when goodness comes, is comfortable when darkness comes. Just as all the waters and streams of the world pour into the ocean and leave it as it found it. It doesn't overstay its bounds. It's all been happening. For how long have all the oceans and rivers and everything flowed into the ocean? So the world of sense pours into the yogi, pours through the sense into the yogi, and leaves him as it found him, at peace, serene, content. So when you practice this, what happens is you center yourself at the core of your consciousness. That's why I spent so much time in the beginning talking about that. You are the conscious being. Yes, your mind needs to cleanse. It needs to let go of stuff. As long as you're okay, it's fine. Your heart needs to cleanse. You stored all this stuff in there. As long as you're okay, it will happen naturally. The world needs to behave in accordance with the forces that cause it to be the way it is. As long as you're okay, then the world is out there, you are in here. I know what's going to happen. You'll reach a point, I assure you, where because you found your center at the core of your being, you will start to experience the nature of your own being. Before, you were busy experiencing the nature of your sick mind, the nature of a disturbed heart, all of which was being affected by the world out there. I never really closed the gap. Even though the world has nothing to do with me in here, how come it seems like it does? Because you made up a world inside your mind and said it needs to be that way. So now every single thing the world does seems to affect your mind, doesn't it? That's because you did that, right? You said it needs to be a certain way. So you tied the unfolding of the world to the state of your inner being. It's not naturally tied. You did that. So you stop doing that. And what will happen is you'll become centered in the core of your being, naturally. The world will unfold. You'll keep letting go of the parts of you that are having difficulty with it. And then you're going to start to feel something you never felt before. Ecstasy, joy, love, real love, independent of anybody else. Because that is the nature of your being. You have a nature. You can't explore your nature when you're busy watching the nature of the mind, the nature of the heart, and letting the world freak you out. When that stops, you start feeling these rushes, overwhelming rushes of joy and love and ecstasy pouring through your being all the time. That is how you're supposed to be living. That is supposed to be the starting position of your life. And now you go about, have fun. You just enjoy what's happening because you're so filled with love and joy and ecstasy that it doesn't make any difference anyways. And then you'll interact with the world. I always close off this way. It's not that you don't interact with the world. You just don't try to take from the world so you'll be okay. You're already okay. And all of a sudden you become a giver. Now everything that's unfolding in front of you, you're so filled with love and joy and passion that you want to interact with it. You want to make it beautiful. You want to help it. You want to raise it. That's a saint. That's a great being. You just keep giving of yourself because it's beautiful to do it. You know, when you're painting and you're an artist, you love doing it, don't you? When you're a musician and you're playing music, you're passionate about it. Every moment of your life should be like playing music. Every moment of your life should be the passion of an artist Beethoven, crazy man playing his piano because he had to express himself. Life should not be, I'm trying to take because I'm not okay. It should be, oh my God, I have so much to express and I can share it with whatever's in front of me. Mother Teresa worked with the lepers and everything. She didn't wait till it got nice. Great beings express the beauty and love of their being all the time. Under the worst situations, they're the most beautiful. So this is why I started off with saying life can be really, really difficult, or life can be really, really easy. Life is very, very difficult if you make up how it needs to be, and then you're not going to be okay unless it's that way. Boy, I don't want you to live like that. That's a tough life. Life is really beautiful when you say, I'm going to clean up what's going on in here so that I'm fine in here. And then I'll have fun interacting with everything. Every single moment of every second of life can be beautiful. All right. Work with these things. Jai Gurudev.